Hey, everybody, we're here for another list talking top. Well, not even top. We're just ranking Spider-Man. This is ranking. This is not even top. It's just ranking. Someone kick this guy from the conversation.
Yeah, I think
it's necessary.
Spider-Man.
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 It's Spider-Man late for home time.
Late for home time.
So we're gonna go into this. There's how many? 9, right?
Yep.
If we're including
9.
Spider-Verse, there's 9 Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
And so whenever I figure out where I saved my list, then we'll start. So just give me a second here because my phone is special. All right, so I'm gonna go first this time because I like me. So we're gonna start obviously at 9 and work our way to number 1. All this live-action Spider-Man movies, including Spider-Verse. I said that, but I'm just making sure you know. So for me, number 9, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I'm actually shocked, but okay. Who's
Why
next?
would you be shocked?
It's so bad.
Why it is. I agree.
Oh,
Who's
JD,
next?
it's you. Sorry.
JD, it's me. I'm in the same boat as you. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, mine is actually Spider-Man 3.
My number 8 is Spider-Man 3.
My number 8 is Spider-Man 3.
My number 8 is Amazing Spider-Man 2.
All right. So my number 7 is The Amazing Spider-Man.
You just copied my list because that's my number 7 too. It's Amazing Spider-Man.
All right, let's see how far we can do this for.
Well, really?
Okay.
Because my number 7 is The Amazing Spider-Man.
All right, well, let's keep this going. My number 6 is the original RAIMI Spider-Man.
My number 6 is actually Spider-Man Far From Home.
Thanks for chiming in when it was not your turn.
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry,
my
my
number
bad.
6 is Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, so we all were different there. Okay, so my number 5 is Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming.
My
JD.
number 5, yeah, my number 5 is the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man. So we just swapped those two.
Yeah, so
That's
we're
funny
still good.
That's funny because my number 5 is the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah, but you already goofed up on one of them,
I know.
okay?
Yeah.
Don't try to recover right now.
No,
My
that's actually
number
what it is,
4, we're getting here top. We're getting to the tops. My number 4 is Spider-Man 2.
My number 4 is Spider-Man Far From Home.
My number 2 is Spider-Man.
Number 2, number 4.
I mean, number 4. Sorry, number 4. Sorry, number 4 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Sorry, I don't know why I
Okay.
said 2.
My number 3 is Spider-Man Far From Home.
My number 3 is No Way Home.
My number 3 is Spider-Man 2.
My number 2 is No Way Home.
My number 2 is Spider-Verse.
My number 2 is No Way Home.
My number 1, the greatest Spider-Man movie ever made, Into the Spider-Verse.
My number 1 is the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2. The 2.1, though.
All right, I'll allow it.
And my number 1 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, Putty, I like you
Okay.
better now.
No,
Okay,
I
That
will
was
say-
a tough.
I will say this,
Okay,
though.
1 and 2, I'll be honest, were a very, very tough
For me,
decision.
it was 2 because I actually switched to different one because I was going to put No Way Home because I really do enjoy No Way Home. But then I was like, Spider-Verse still has it for me. It's still better than No Way Home.
Yeah,
Even though
me
I
too.
do love it. Yeah.
I had the same moment as you.
And then Spider-Man 2 it was kind of in the same length. Like I love Spider-Man 2, but No Way Home kind of gave me
Listen,
what Spider-Man
okay,
2
so here's my thing. Spider-Man 2 is number 4 for me. The reason I have Far From Home ahead of Spider-Man 2 is because if you go back there, I would probably rate them with like the same rating, but I pick Far From Home because it embodies everything that a Spider-Man comic brought to life should be. Spider-Man 2 is super campy still, and when you go back and watch it, yes, it's good,
Yeah.
but it doesn't hold up the way that it used to. It's kind of like X-Men 2. It has like a level of cheese to it that's kind of like, but it's still good. Like, don't get me wrong.
It's Alfred Molina's performance in that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, well, let me say this.
100%.
Here's my thing I noticed, and we all probably agree on this. When you go from 6 to 1, those are when we're actually saying the Spider-Man movies are still phenomenal. At least I believe are still phenomenal.
I would say 7. I think Amazing Spider-Man is very good.
It's a serviceable film. Amazing
it's a serviceable
Spider-Man.
film, but I feel like it's one of those that, like, you know, again, Andrew Garfield missed the mark in my eyes a lot with the Peter Parker part. Because again, I just in my eyes, as growing up, Peter Parker never rode a skateboard. Maybe the newer ones he did.
That's your thing? No,
well, no, it's just not just that.
No,
Everything.
they
I'm
said
just saying that's a prime example.
They specifically said that they improv that scene like into the movie. Like he didn't come up with it on the spot. They had it planned, but they knew that Spider-Man wasn't this guy. And Tom Holland even says the thing that he likes least about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was the skateboarding, because Spider-Man wouldn't skateboard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, that's just one of the things out there. But
that's whatever.
Yeah. But I mean,
it would have been cool if he had the skateboard and he used the web to propel himself on the skateboard.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what makes that movie good? And when you look at the grand scheme, the landscape of superhero movies, and you go back and watch The Amazing Spider-Man, it holds up pretty decently, and it's so much better than a lot of the trash that we've got over the last couple of years. Like the computer graphics when he's web swinging are so next level that they haven't even replicated that until No Way Home is the first time that we've seen that web swinging replicated. The feels, like the velocity of someone flying through the air
that fast.
Yeah. Can I say this? I know when we first set this up, we're talking about the whole Sony verse and it being like the Sony movies. So I didn't say it, but I do have honorable mentions that are still in the Sony thing, because I was looking up lists and I realized when people were doing Spider-Man lists, they added these two in there because I guess it's in the universe. So I said they're honorable mentions. I just want to put out there, I did make honorable mentions for Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage, even though they're not really Spider-Man movies.
That's not Spider-Man movies. That's the Sony-verse, I guess. Whatever you want. Doesn't Sony have a name for that now?
The Sony Spider-Man universe. It's the stupidest
really
name ever. Yeah.
But it literally, when I was looking this up to see what people had as far as lists, they literally put those in there, and they were actually
but that's because they're ranking the whole.
But then again, we're also adding into the Spider-Verse, which it was only produced by Sony, right? It wasn't.
No, it's made by Sony.
Sony.
Yeah.
It's Sony Animation.
But we're talking Spider-Man here, and Venom is not Spider-Man, so I don't even have honorable mentions. If I'm going to have an honorable mentions,
I just had to put there as a joke.
I'll do the TV show from 1994.
I'll do Japanese Spider-Man as
there you go.
Right, or the cartoon
or those show. 3 terrible movies they made in like the late 70s.
Yes.
But anyway,
when Spider-Man would show up on the electric company to teach kids about math.
We're not counting that. So I think like everyone's list was pretty on point, to the point where when I see some people's lists online, I can't understand it. How the three of us who never talked about it at all came up with almost a very similar list, at least in the same general 3 spots every movie was. You go online and people are like, not my opinion, but Spider-Man, it's not their opinion, it's fact. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best movie. And I'm like, did you smoke crack?
That's the worst one. That is the worst film.
You'd be surprised. I can name like easily 5 or 6 people that have said that. And they're adamant. They will not let you argue it. There's nothing you can say against them.
The only reason why Spider-Man 3 is the lowest on my list was because of what they did with Venom. And again, even the director said himself, Venom was shoehorned in that movie. Sandman in the movie is amazing. In my eyes, is Spider-Man 3.
Sam Raimi didn't want to make Venom in the movie.
I know. Exactly. It was shoehorned. Sony's like, put him in there.
He originally wanted to do Vulture, and they told him no.
That's right. Yeah.
So he went with these 2. Then the 4th movie was supposed to be Vulture.
Yeah.
I think it was
what's his
Vulture
name?
Was Rhino or something.
Yeah, they cast what's his name as the.
They wanted to do Mysterio. They wanted to do
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Because he showed up in all the 3 films that they wanted to.
And he plays Quentin Beck, I believe.
Beck. Yeah, he is Quentin Beck. Yep.
So, I mean, I would have liked to see that. I would have also liked to see the James Cameron, Leonardo DiCaprio version of Spider-Man. That probably would have been great. Apparently, there was a David Fincher version, too, that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, right before the Sam Raimi one, yeah.
But, I mean, Spider-Man 3 is also not a good movie.
But
I would say from Amazing Spider-Man onwards, they're all pretty good. Like, Spider-Man 1 is just too much of an experiment still to get higher up for me.
I'll put this out there, and this is the reason why No Way Home got so high with me also. When you look at William Dafoe as the Green Goblin, he is amazing when you don't have the mask on in my eyes. He is a great
the Green face Goblin. Doesn't need a mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it funny how in No Way Home he doesn't ever have a mask on?
Well, the spoilers.
That's not a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler. You see it in the commercials.
Well,
they did it on purpose because they wanted him to act.
Well, we'll get into that. That's something.
His facial expressions in that movie.
Yeah. So,
on our non-spoiler review, we talked about that, Campo.
Yeah.
How his facial expressions were just like what sold it.
Yep. But that was already the same way in Spider-Man. Remember when he was looking in the mirror? That scene alone was amazing in my eyes. You know what I mean? When he was looking in the mirror, I loved it. You know? So.
But yeah, so I mean, he's great. Homecoming to me is like, it's too well made of a movie for me to put it lower than where I have it. But I don't like Homecoming. I'm not a fan. I don't understand any of the humor. I did not laugh barely at all for the entirety of the movie.
Like I said, like you said about Spider-Man 1, this was the Sony experiment with the MCU.
Yeah, and it felt so strange because if you watch Far From Home, which nails everything that a Spider-Man movie should be better than any Spider-Man movie has ever done. It nails it perfectly. But and No Way Home, which is just a great movie.
But I noticed that you guys
Homecoming. Go.
Oh, good. I noticed when you guys have put Far From Home above Homecoming, and I put Homecoming above Far From Home. I love both of them. I'm not singling them out. The reason Homecoming was a little bit closer is there were certain things that made me feel more closer to the Spider-Man thing, like certain scenes, for example, when he was under the girder and he was pushing or using the strength to lift the girders above him and everything. Scenes like that just made me nostalgic and made me think, okay, they understand what they're doing, which made Far From Home even better in my eyes. So that's the reason why I thought Homecoming did deserve to be a little bit higher.
I think Homecoming was, sorry, John, go ahead.
I don't even understand what you're fucking saying. I don't understand.
For me, Homecoming, they were trying too hard to tie it into the MCU with the Chitauri tech that Adrian Toomes was pillaging. Right. And so I thought that maybe they were trying too hard to tie into the Avengers. And like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Michael Keaton as Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture in that film was great, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I get Peter Parker's a high school kid, but the whole
it's too rooted in what teenagers do rather than Peter Parker being a teenager and dealing with being Spider-Man. It's more focused on look, cell phones, look, Google, look, Instagram. And the humor just didn't click for me. It's just unfocused. The acting is not great. Like Tom Holland is good in it and Michael Keaton is amazing. But Zendaya hasn't nailed that character yet.
Not yet. No.
The Ned guy is more annoying than he is funny. And you see it is in the second one where they're like, oh, let's let people act. And you really get performances.
The second one too, it also has Spider-Man. Like the second one is all about Spider-Man just wanting to live a normal life for a week while he's on vacation without having to deal with Spider-Man.
And it has JB Smoove. That's
they all have JB Smoove though.
Yeah, is he in the first one? I don't remember.
He's in all of them. So is Martin Starr there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are good choices.
I actually rewatched every single Spider-Man movie.
Okay, so didn't you think it was weird because I don't remember him in the last one? Why the hell was oh my god, what's his name? Hannibal Buress shoehorned into that one scene.
Yeah, I remember Hannibal.
He was in Far From Home, but he wasn't in Homecoming, I don't think.
No, he wasn't in Far From Home. It was just.
He was in another one. Yeah, he was in another one.
It was. I think it was just Homecoming because Far From Home. They're in Europe, and it's just JB Smoove and Martin Starr.
Yeah, because I found that super weird, and it's like you didn't even bring him back at all in the movie. You just. I get why they showed the other two to show you like, hey, they're still here. Unless there's going to be another movie coming that he's going to be in as well. So. It seems like a waste of a pretty big name comedian to just put him.
Burris is like, hey, I got 10 minutes. Can I come back to shoot a scene of Spider-Man? Basically.
Yeah. Not even 10 minutes in the movie, 10 minutes to film the scene. But yeah, that's a good movie. Spider-Verse is Spider-Verse is peak superhero movie.
It was so hard to pick a number one between those two for me. I was so conflicted just to hear Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir.
I know, yeah, right. Oh my god, that was amazing. I still to this time I love the whole idea of when he first saw the color and the Rubik's Cube. They're just those little moments that you don't that you take for granted that you don't have in our world. They never understand that, and for them to experience that or even take that element into our world. That's the reason why I can't wait for the second one. I can't wait to see because we already went directly towards the end of that one. If you haven't seen it, spoiler, sorry. But with Spider-Man 2099, they're already bringing elements of even the memes and everything, and saying, "Hey, these are all part of the world." You know what I mean? And it's enjoyable. You know what I mean? It brings the inner kid out of you.
I still want to see 2099 on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. And it's Oscar Isaac too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's rumors that there's going to be Japanese Spider-Man in it.
Oh.
I heard that too. Yeah,
not the manga Spider-Man that was in the first one, right?
No, the actual guy, the actor is going to come back. There's a rumor going around about that. And apparently, for the third movie, they're saving Scarlet Spider, the blue rip sleeved version.
Nice. What I want to see is bring back 90s animated Spider-Man.
I think that's going to happen too. That's got to happen. There's no way they're not going to do that
with the same voice actor. They have to
know why? Because if you thought them bringing back X-Men
94,
97,
well, I don't know why it's called that. It's really from 1992.
No, but you know why it's called 97? Because the last episode was
Pride of the X-Men.
So it's continuing from the 94.
It should have just been called X-Men.
Yeah,
but
this one's for you, Morph.
Yeah, Morph dies in episode 1 and then comes back in the last thing. So
season.
But yeah, they're definitely going to bring back Spider-Man the animated series. It's going to happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if they fool around with some other stuff. But yeah, I don't have anything else. Anyone have anything else?
No, we pretty much talked about.
All right, let us know your ranking. If you want to leave your whole ranking, go ahead. You can just tell us what your favorite one is in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what time it is. Good mythical morning.